Hey everybody, this episode of The Horror Show is brought to you by Shudder. Brought to you by the AMC Network. Shudder is the ultimate streaming video service for horror fans, home to the largest and fastest growing expert curated selection of provocative films, TV series, and originals. There's always something new and unexpected to explore. All this month, Shudder is celebrating halfway to Halloween with creepy collections to kick off the countdown to All Hallows Eve. Shudder is available for $4.99 a month or $49.99 with an annual membership, but our listeners get a free month by entering the promo code BLOODY at checkout. So check that out, shudder.com. Head over there. It's on a ton of platforms. I use it on my Kindle Fires, all of them, at work and at home, and it's a really good service. So check that out. It's also brought to you by our Patreon members, Gareth Parkinson and Zach Graves. Thank you guys both so much for your donations. It really means a lot to us. And this week we have Killdozer. Now, last we talked about what movies we're going to be doing this week, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Joe is in Chicago for work, so I will not be seeing him. I haven't seen him for a week, and it's crazy. And then the following week, so I won't see him the week we normally record, so we would either have to take a week off, and then I think the following week he said that he also can't. So it would have to be 2 weeks of solo Sean shows. But I've called in Paul. I don't know if he's going to do it or not. It's totally up in the air, as is everything with Paul. But I've called him. He's tentatively in, so it might be 2 weeks worth of Paul, in which case we will probably change the movies to something more suitable for the both of us. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, of course. And yeah, that's a wrap. So enjoy Killdozer.
Paying attention in class, I was thinking about the adventures of Ash, about the misfortune of sitting kids at Crystal Lake. Became addicted straight away with the initial tape. God bless Betamax. VHS, holy like Amanda Kruger. I was introduced to genre flicks by Toby Hooper. I started craving more, just like Larry the Looter. I collected VHS without commentary or bloopers. Store computers, magazines, a bunch of stores. Spent my money on movies and begged my mom for more. I'd watch the boys kill those astro bastards 5 times a day or even more. I loved the gore. Lionel and Paquita combined their lonely hearts. I was hellbound, Cenobites tore my soul apart. I've seen them all, from Dracula to Vertigo. Listen up, welcome to The Horror Show with Sean and Joe.
Hello everybody and welcome to The Horror Show. Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
So we're here.
Here we are. Time
for Killdozer.
Yes.
A name so great that it can only be one of the most boring movies I've ever had the pleasure of watching.
I honestly like the name.
The name's awesome. I love the name. It's just the rest of the film that is almost unbearable, but not quite. Like it wasn't enjoyable. I don't even know. It was fine. It was there. It wasn't even fine. It was just there. It was made for TV in 1970.
It was. I don't know how to describe this because it
was almost like, why did they make it?
First of all, what a ridiculous thing to make for TV.
Right. Like if you couldn't make Killdozer be a violent film, like whose idea was like, you know what? Let's put it on TV and take out any part of why we're calling it Killdozer. And just make it a bulldozer running around and sort of breaking stuff.
Just kind of being a nuisance.
And killing people, but really for the people's fault.
But only in that restricted area. Honestly, it all could have been just leave.
Oh, they could have left? They
could have, yeah, just got in a car. That thing's not chasing you.
Wait, my favorite part of Killdozer, fuck, I guess I should save it, but whatever. My favorite part of Killdozer is the answer to all these questions, because people are pitching ideas on how to avoid Killdozer. And at one point, they reveal that the biggest problem with Killdozer is because it's a bulldozer. It can go anywhere because it'll just make a road wherever it wants to go. Which also doesn't matter because it's a bulldozer, so it's made for different terrain. It's belt driven.
Did you know that this was a book? A short story,
I saw that. And then turned into a comic book after the movie?
Yeah.
Boy, that must have been
the same year.
What, the comic book?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a tie-in.
Yeah.
It was like, if you loved the movie, get ready for the novel.
Really targeting the Killdozer fan base. Killdozer market.
Fuck, man. So this was made for ABC. There's not really anything to talk about. There's about 4 actors in total in the film. That's it. Director did nothing.
Notes, Sean, are this might be the least amount of notes I have in a movie.
This is pretty close for me too, actually. We should probably figure out something to talk about in between.
Because at least with Microwave Massacre, this guy talked for way more.
Yeah.
But at least there's like other settings, that you could talk about.
Yeah.
This is pretty basic about what happens.
Yeah, for sure. It's very basic, except it's ridiculous still. So we open up, a meteor hits Earth.
Yep.
Turns out it's Africa.
It's the slowest falling meteor of all time.
Which works well because everything in this movie is slow. Literally slow. I think this was during like the dawn of time. I think this meteor.
Oh, you think okay.
I think
you're right because
it's buried.
Hold on. I actually think I read it when I was reading Wikipedia.
Oh, really?
Let me look at that.
But I do think it was like prehistoric and it landed and then was like, because then they're digging and then that's when they hit it. So I don't think it was recent. I mean, it could have been.
Yeah, I do believe you're right. Because it says natural forces have buried it.
Good. And then we cut to doing construction on the beach. Sounds like a terrible plan. Also, what are they building? Because all they have are destructive equipment. They're not building anything. And there's only 4 men, and they all just drive around in bulldozers all day. I don't know what they're doing. So 2 guys, they're in this abandoned gym on the beach. We meet Dutch. He'll be one of our lead fellas here. I thought he was going to be the main character because literally everyone won't stop saying his name. Everyone's just like, hey, Dutch, hey, Dutch, hey, Dutch, hey, Dutch. This is the most old man movie ever, isn't it?
This is an old man movie.
This is such an old man movie. It's just old dudes that were probably in Westerns.
And like the only people that were watching it were old men that came home, like poured themselves a glass of scotch and just sat in the recliner.
Like, I'm going to check out Killdozer, get my kicks. It was on, I looked up the trailer for it. Like I wanted to see if there was any commercials that ran on ABC, and it was the ABC suspense thriller of the week.
Wow. How about that?
Least suspenseful thing.
It honestly, the title explains the movie to you.
Honestly, the title might have been better off being like Big Boys on Tractors, because I don't know what else really is to say about this movie. There's just 4 guys working all the time. That's just all that's happening. And also, okay, we'll get to it. But yeah, these 4 guys are just working, and all of them are on bulldozers, so I don't know what they're getting done. They're just pushing sand around. And then just flashes Killdozer on the screen. You're like, oh shit. Okay, so that's okay. And then, another movie, by the way, Microwave Massacre had no soundtrack. Same for this.
Yeah.
No,
dry as fuck.
Eating a fucking cheese sandwich. That's what this movie is. It's the most old man movie ever. It's perfect for old dudes. White rice and a cheese sandwich. And in the beginning, they start rolling the credits over this guy destroying the gym that we just saw with his bulldozer. Mm-hmm. And you literally are watching him just run it over. And then it would occasionally cut to the lead boss. His name's Kelly, just looking at a map. And it's like 5 minutes of this. And you're just like, is this fucking for real right now? Like, this guy's just looking, and he's looking so confused at the map. Like, he's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, they're doing real work. It's like a documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a documentary. It's a documentary. Yeah. So that's the credits. It's in silence. It's super weird. The smashing stops, so the boss gets concerned. Mm-hmm. He gets in his car to drive 10 feet over there. Gets out. And
True. I didn't even.
He's right next to it happening. He's literally 10 feet away. He's right next to it happening. He drives his car over, speeds, and goes flying over there. And they see that it appears they've hit a metallic rock. And it hums. And they are aware of the humming. This isn't the 50s sci-fi hum that no one can hear. They say,
what's that noise?
What's that noise? Regularly throughout the movie. They're very concerned about the hum, as they should be. And so the boss is like, just get out of the way. And so he like backs up and just rams into the fucking rock again. But this time it causes it to a blue light, which is literally just a blue flashlight shined on it.
It is, yes.
Because then it moves like a spotlight.
Also, Wikipedia wants it to be known that the bulldozer is a Caterpillar D9 in the movie, but it's a Caterpillar D7 in the book. So,
which is funny. They talk about this fucking D9 nonstop in this movie. Like they're like, the D9.
Nobody gives a fuck what model bulldozer.
It made me feel like it was one of those old 50s things where it was like, like the fucking like Carter Liver Pills movie hour. And like, of course, in the movie, they're like, hey, have a Carter's liver pill. Like, that's what it felt like. I wouldn't be surprised if this was sponsored by Caterpillar. But who the fuck?
Maybe it was.
But who the fuck would buy a D9? He's selling to the homeowners. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But it's a D9. They tell you regularly in this movie that it's a D9. So anyway, the blue light shines on the rock. It appears to be some type of soul. Because then the blue light moves to the fucking bulldozer.
It possesses it.
It possesses it. A transference of souls, if you will. Oh, also the blue light shines on this kid Mac and apparently burns him alive. It shines on for a minute. He's like, ah! He falls over. And everyone's pissed at the boss man because they say he pushes people too hard. That's why this guy got burned alive for no reason. Like no one can figure out why he's burned. Like no one's concerned about that. They're just like, this is all the boss's fault. He did this. And you actually see this guy's kind of burned up pretty bad. It's kind of, it's the most you get out of this movie.
That is true.
And it's in a very shadowy
very little.
scene. Yeah. It's in a very shadowy scene. It's not very well lit. And they're saying there's no way to save this guy's life, which I find insane. I find it insane. And they're like, maybe we could, they're like, there's no way to get off this island. Which I don't even think they're on an island.
They are on an island.
They are on an island?
It's an uninhabited island.
Okay. So, all right, fair enough. But they're like, there's no way to save them. And they're like, well, maybe we can arrange a mercy flight. And they're like, where are they going to land? Literally anywhere.
It is all land.
Also, you have a bulldozer.
Just clear out trees.
You could literally make a helipad in 15 minutes. Tops. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Not to mention, I'm pretty sure they can land on beaches, but that's fine. Whatever.
How did they get there?
Yeah, I think they took a
landed.
I think
they took a boat?
I don't know, because there's a ship. They're like, hey, we got to...
Listen, it doesn't matter. They can fucking land there. Yeah.
Oh, man. So Mac's looking all fucked up, and Mac and the boss start talking alone about the blue light on the rock. Like, Mac's like, there's a blue light. The guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then Mac's dead. And we know this because the boss breaks the news in the worst possible way ever. Literally, the guys are outside being like, this is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. And they're like, fuck that. And then Dutch is like, I'm going to go inside. He's my best friend. I just want to see him. And as he's walking in, the boss is walking out. And he's like, well, get a tarp. We're going to bury this guy. Actually, he says, we're going to bury this guy for the time being. which seems like a really final thing to do for a temporary burial. Like, you don't temporarily bury somebody. Like,
you have to dig them back up. That's ridiculous.
Also very traumatizing for
everyone
friends.
involved. Yeah.
Yeah, like bury your friend and then unbury him, see him,
right,
and take his corpse back out.
I agree.
It's not like they have a casket to put him in. Dutch is pissed though.
What a nightmare that would be. Because there's no way anyone would ever remember where you buried him. make a shitty grave marker, but gets lost.
Dust. So Kelly, Dutch is pissed. Kelly goes out to go looking at that bulldozer. He climbs into the bulldozer. And you're like the old school computer noises, like beep boop beep boop beep boop, which this bulldozer is not digital in any fucking way, completely mechanical. And the bulldozer just starts doing whatever it wants. So Kelly cuts the fucking wires, which are not, again, they are not digital. The like, fluid starts flying out of them and shit. Very much mechanical wires or tubes, I guess. But the machine starts chasing him down. It's about to fucking kill him, but then just stops. The most alarming part about that scene is that Kelly is being chased down by a bulldozer and is not making a single audible noise. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
It freaked me the fuck out because he's laying on the ground about to get fucking smashed by a bulldozer with its own brain. And he's just open. He's got his mouth open, but he's not making any noises. And you know it because there's no music.
Nobody's going to be alerted.
So just like, he's not being like, oh, help. Like it's literally just silence. Him fighting this thing in silence. It's really fucking alarming. So the boys bury Mac. And good old Kelly interrupts the funeral service by towing a tractor right through the middle of it. This movie is not funny, not intentionally funny, and is about 1,000,000 times funnier than Microwave Mess.
Yes. They're not trying to be funny once.
This is, again, super dry old man movie. And I'm like already halfway through my...
I was not lying. I have like nothing. I'm actually impressed that you wrote this much down.
Because none,
like that's funny that you noted that he interrupted the funeral, but why did he do that? It doesn't matter. Like, I did not write that down. I'm just being an asshole.
And really for them, it was just done because they only had an hour 15 minutes to fucking kill. Again, a very short movie.
Yeah.
Short. So Kelly... another thing. Dutch and Mac's the dead guy. Dutch is the very emotional man. Dutch and Mac totally fucked. Did you catch that?
No.
I don't know how you weren't paying attention to that. Dutch and Mac were so romantic, it was unbearable. So
I don't think that's true.
Okay, well, Dutch loves him so much. Okay, so
they're just friends.
Okay, right. We're going to get to a scene where Dutch explains what him and Mac used to do together, and they were having sex, Joe, and that's fine.
No, I agree that's fine, but I did. Tell me what he said.
All right. So later on.
Yeah. We don't need to go in order, Sean.
Wait, I'm trying to find it. So later on, after another guy gets killed.
Yeah.
A totally separate guy gets killed. Dutch is like, oh man, that guy had a family. How terrible. And the guy's like, the other guy he's talking to is like, yeah. He's like, hey, you know what I'd like to do? Go swimming. Me and Mac used to go swimming. We loved swimming, mostly at night, splashing around like a couple jaybirds. First of all, I don't know if this was a phrase for you, but my grandfather from the South used to say naked as a jaybird. So I'm immediately putting together these two
just broing around.
Getting their fuck on. Well, getting their bra on. But okay, like the guys at your gym, were those guys getting their bro on? Joe's at the gym.
Did they listen to this?
Never mind. Both of them?
Well, one of them.
Okay. He's got a nose for it, if you will. A nose for dick.
Please don't even edit that.
So where are we? Okay, so Kelly tells the mechanic, look at that dozer in the morning. Go take a look at old Killdozer in the morning.
I wish he said that.
Also, by the way, it should be noted that Killdozer, nonstop in this movie, they'll just cut to it and its lights will be flashing. It's just making noises. And everyone's like, it's a normal bulldozer. Nothing's wrong with it.
So many times this guy's like, there's a reasonable explanation for this. And the bulldozer is like pretty much human at this point.
It's almost talking. It's like emoting.
Yeah. And the guy's like, there's an explanation. Like, stop it.
When night falls, the bulldozer goes to sleep. Like settles in. Wait,
I wish it tucked itself in.
One of my favorite things was when the bulldozer hid in the tall grass.
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie. Just hiding.
Hiding in tall grass like a fucking lion. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
That's my favorite scene in the
You just saw the hood of the fucking bulldozer.
And I think they meant that to be like suspenseful.
I'm laughing so hard at the idea of somebody being like,
because there's
let's
nothing humorous in this movie. They're like,
this is
gotta
so
keep
funny.
the audience on the
We gotta keep them on their toes. Let's put that bulldozer in the tall grass.
And the fact that none of those guys are like,
Like you wouldn't hear.
hey, there's the fucking Killdozer. You're a fucking dude. Bulldozers are so loud.
You can hear them for miles, especially in an uninhabited island with no building, no electricity. You would literally hear a pin drop on the other side of the island.
I know.
Also, Killdozer. Why is Killdozer so slow?
Why is Killdozer even hiding? He's a fucking bulldozer.
Now, did you see the Killdozer? They named a guy in 2014 Killdozer in Colorado.
They named a guy? Like a human being?
A man in Colorado.
Changed his name to Killdozer?
No, I wish that was the story.
Oh.
A man in Colorado got really pissed at his town and built a Killdozer, a bulletproof bulldozer, and he just started destroying the town. He ran over the mayor's house. He destroyed a hardware store that he was feuding with. He owned his own business. I think he wouldn't get they wouldn't give him permits or something for his business. So he got really pissed. He destroyed part of town hall and the tax assessor's office. he destroyed, did I say the mayor's house? He went after the mayor's house and somebody else's house. They were a personal,
Is he still alive?
a fan. No, I think he killed himself. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. I'm going to look it up now just to confirm that. It's not. Yeah, he died. He killed himself, which is crazy because he killed himself in the fucking bulldozer. Somehow he managed to not kill or hurt anyone.
So why did they name him Killdozer? Sucks at being a Killdozer.
I don't know. I think it's a personal shot at him. Although, really,
is it sarcastic dubbing? Killdozer.
No, he literally did nothing except cause a shit ton of damage.
Insurance was so.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking crying right now because it's so fucking funny. It's not funny, but it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane that this guy was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking just
how much time? Let's spend so much time making that bulldozer.
It's crazy. Yeah, look, if you look at it, it's insane. It's insane. No one was killed. The sheriff's department noted that 11 of the 13 buildings he bulldozed were occupied until the moment before their destruction. So literally,
because you hear a fucking bulldozer coming a mile away. Hey, what's that noise? Oh my God, it's coming right towards
even after,
and you can evacuate.
Even after it hits the building, they must have been like, all right, let's leave.
Because
you've got 10
you gotta
minutes
keep
before.
backing up and moving the thing. That's 100% what happened. Yeah. You hear it coming and everyone gathers in the same room to be like, oh my God, why is it coming towards us? It hits the side of the building, you just leave the other side.
You watch those videos online of cars crashing through buildings and it's instant.
Yeah.
And everyone still gets out of the way.
Slow.
Yeah, and everyone usually in those instances still gets out of the way. Like there's like scrapes and bruises and shit because bricks are flying. These bulldozers are the slowest fucking thing possible. Oh man. That's
so much funnier in this movie.
Oh man. So that's something. Old Killdozer. Marvin Heemeyer was his name. Anyway, back to the OG Killdozer. That was way more successful at killing, but barely, because literally these people basically let them
Also
be murdered.
Never mind. It's literally the last thing, but I just want to.
So the mechanic goes to check out Killdozer, but he's like, everything's fine. He's like, oh hey, there's this hum coming from the shovel. By the way, he's talking to this guy Kelly, the boss, and Kelly kind of knows something's up because he's experienced it firsthand. Now he cut the cords and nothing. So he wants this guy to inspect it and find. He's looking for anything to figure out, explain this. And the guy's like, hey, by the way, there's a hum coming from the shovel. And the guy's like, that's nothing to worry about. Totally brushes it off. Literally looking for anything. You'd be like, tear it apart.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, why don't they just take the fucking shovel off?
I don't know. So can we just think about how they like, I know we're going to get there, but I just want you to think about how they thwarted this Killdozer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also, I'm pretty sure all these guys fuck because right
They were on an island for a while.
A long time. Yeah. And this mechanic is like, hey, I'm no piece of candy. I don't know what he's talking about. Unless that's old man talk for like, I'm such a prankster. I'm no prankster. But he's like, hey, I'm no piece of candy. And then Kelly's like, you're a sour ball. Joe, if I start calling you a sour ball, you'd be like,
I'd ask you to stop.
You'd be like, anyway,
sour ball. I'm gonna start calling Paul that in our chat. In our group
100% gonna start calling Paul a sour ball.
Sour Paul.
No. That just melted my brain for some reason. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But like I honestly just put my head in my hands. Like I heard the greatest thing of all time. So they start. One of the guys is like, hey man, I heard Mac talking about that blue light. I think that's something to look into. Because this is so tame and like the 70s and ABC, the shit that they talk about is so mundane. It's so brutal. It's almost unbearable, man. Like this guy is like, hey, like, and that's the way they're talking. They're like, hey man, I really think we should really consider talking about this blue light that Mac was talking about. And Kelly's like, I would really rather not talk about that. The guy's like, I don't know, man. That seems like a pretty solid lead. And the guy's like, nah, that's not what we're not going to discuss that any further. They have conversations like that. That's what the whole movie is, pretty much. And then one of the guys is like, hey, I could have sworn that D9 blade move. That's the end of the conversation. So one of the dudes jumps into Killdozer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm just going to use it. Or should I say Killdozer takes him for a ride?
That he does.
That's literally what happens.
That's what Jackie Vernon would say.
That is exactly what Jackie Vernon would look into the camera and tell 6 other jokes and then say that one also. Also, mean old Killdozer comes to life because he had seen Kelly using the radio. We know this because it would flash to the radio and then back to Killdozer.
Yeah, and then Killdozer's like, well, I better fucking take care of this problem. so it kills the radio.
Yeah, so he runs up with the radio and everyone's like, no!
Why would it care if it's using the radio?
Why? Why on earth would it possibly give a shit? Like, it's got a fucking vendetta against these guys. It's just a fucking rock.
It's mad because it was awakened. It's the only explanation.
So it was just super happy being a rock buried under sand.
Pretty much.
Oh my god. And then it just randomly cuts to two guys smoking around a box of explosives. I think that was the comic relief.
It was the guy that you used to buy your fireworks from.
Yeah, do you remember that?
I do.
I knew a guy that sold illegal fireworks. And one time I took my friend there to buy some fireworks. And he would keep them in a shipping crate on a piece of property he owned. They owned a lot of property. So good luck finding it. It's a Meriden. I can point it out to you if you it might be the largest.
How close is he to my house?
Very close.
Great.
It's right next to where the paintball place is.
Okay.
Literally like right next door. It looks like a house.
Hey, Logan moved.
Yeah. Piece that together, guys. Anyway, they had this big shipping crate, and he would hire these fools, these tomcats, if you will, men of the evening, to run his fireworks stand, which was not a stand, it was very legal. And we went there once. I brought my friend, and he's smoking a cigarette while he's talking to us before we go in. And we're like, okay. And I'm just kind of nervous. And then he proceeds to open the doors and walk in with a cigarette. Like, you know the smell of like fireworks. You smell the fucking gunpowder in there. And this guy is ashing his cigarette in a fucking filled to the top with fireworks. And it was one of the most mind-blowing things. I was like, hey, man, you can go look. I'm going to wait out here while you go look at fireworks.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's insane. All right, anyway.
Is this movie over yet?
Almost. And we're only 30 minutes into our episode.
No, really?
Mm-hmm. So we'll have to figure something out. All right. So anyway.
30 minutes?
The Killdozer runs over the radio.
Yeah.
On purpose. Two guys smoking. That was the comic relief for them. Like, a bunch of old dudes were probably like, that's so unsafe. So funny.
Yeah.
Thank God they broke up all this suspense with a good laugh.
On the edge of their seats.
Oh man, they destroyed the radio. I was really worried there until they cut to the guy smoking cigarettes by the fucking explosives. I feel so much better. Then we cut back to the guy in Killdozer who's just sitting there looking terrified as Killdozer drives around for like hours, feels like. And the guy's just like, oh. And finally he does what you're thinking, which is jump out.
Right.
And then Killdozer proceeds to chase him. And I was laughing out loud so hard because this is the slowest chase scene I've ever seen.
Which rightfully so.
The guy is literally crawling, not getting up.
Yeah.
While Killdozer is chasing him.
While
He's out
Killdozer
running.
is being a bulldozer.
And then Kelly gets in a car and starts chasing him in his car. But what cracked me up about that was there's clearly a road in the shot. Like a clear path to drive on. And for some reason, by the way, the actors are 100% driving these vehicles because they drive like fucking assholes. There's a scene where, it's later on. One of them backs up into trash and you could tell like, what the fuck was that? And the other one almost hits him. And later on, one of the guys is drunk driving, like storyline wise, and he is hitting every bump and he almost gets thrown out of that fucking Jeep. But Kelly is driving not on the road. He's like driving through the brush and getting stuck. Yeah. And then the guy's like, hey, you know what I'll do? I'm going to hide in this tube while Killdozer watches me. And it's coming right for this tube. And then Killdozer runs over, which by the way, what a gruesome fucking death. Being run over by a bulldozer. I mean, I'm not saying visually it was gruesome.
Oh, okay. All right.
The idea of dying like that is horrifying.
Because
you're mush.
being pressed. It's disgusting.
And all of his friends just watched, and all they did was like, ooh, and like kind of turn their heads slightly.
That would be so traumatizing. Just flatten a human being.
Also, I always thought it was weird because every time Killdozer kills one person, well, yeah, that's why I was like, it was weird because you don't see anything happen.
Maybe this is the grossest movie I've ever seen.
But it is kind of the grossest movie because all Killdozer does is squish people. It's fucking gross. But it's also weird because after Killdozer kills one person, he's like, there, put that in your pipe and smoke. He doesn't chase everyone
I wish
else.
he said that. I wish fucking Killdozer said.
Killdozer doesn't chase because everyone's right next to him.
Yeah.
But Killdozer's like, I've seen enough. I've had my fill for the day. Like he's like stalking and hunting them. And that's when Killdozer goes to sleep. He curls up at night. He like pulls up next to a
stupid.
He pulls up next to a tree and like gently puts his blade down. Oh man, this is when Dutch reveals his feelings for Mac. And then Kelly starts telling one of these bozos how the bulldozer is doing some weird shit. And then this other guy's still like, I don't know, man. What about that blue light? What about that blue light? And he's like, well, maybe you have a point about the blue light. Most reasonable movie of all time. So that guy goes out to look at the bulldozer because Kelly's still not sold on it. This guy's like, well, I'm going to do it myself. And the bulldozer is literally just hanging out, like, doing projects on its own. And in a super weird scene, knocks down like the smallest piece of wood. Did you notice that?
No.
So the guy's like spying on it and you'd think it would do something impressive to scare him. But instead it turns and there's probably like a 1.5 tall wood block on the ground. And it just knocks it over.
Notice.
It just knocks it over. I'm not even sure if it was supposed to do that or if it was just in the scene. I don't even know. In the morning, he tells Kelly what he saw. He's like, yeah, man, this is legit. This thing is crazy. We're up against something we can't take on until we figure it out. So we got to figure out this rock. So he brings a piece of the rock to Kelly and he's like, you're a geologist. Kelly's like, well, looks like it might be a meteor. And then the guy's like, yeah, so we have to blow it up.
Of course you do. How would that solve anything?
I don't understand what is happening. Also, all you have to do is stop Killdozer if you weren't going to do one of the millions of things to just get away from it. All you have to do is dig trenches around it.
Take out its spark plug.
You could do one of a million things. You could just you're on the beach.
And dig trenches and just fall.
Oh, by the way, one of the ways they ultimately stop it
is by
using their equipment.
Yeah. Setting a trap. It's the shittiest fucking trap. Only a fucking idiot animal would fall into that.
Also, at the very end is when they're like, hey, you know what might stop a bulldozer? Another bulldozer. And it does work for a minute.
Sean, the guys contemplated hanging it. Are you aware of that?
I didn't think that. Because much like the other
He's
movie,
like, it's too heavy to hang. That's why
break its neck.
Dude, that's why they decided it had to be electrocuted.
Holy shit.
Because it's too big for a gas chamber, he said.
Oh my god. Trying to kill it like it's a human.
Setting it to death.
Stab it in its heart.
Give it a lethal injection.
Firing squad.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Also, all of these plans are better than them doing nothing, which they do for an hour in this film.
If they tried to hang it, this would be the greatest movie of all time. Just bring it to the gallows.
The rope broke. How did it break? 10,000 pound piece of equipment.
It'd be funny if it didn't break. That's just how it died. Just hanging from a tree.
Right. It's pacemaker fries. Because the wiring's backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, it just dies at the end. Oh my god.
he just has a heart attack.
They just walk. They're like, hey, I think I saw it in that field.
Just laying there.
The tall grass. And they just walk in there like, see, Killdozer okay? No, Killdozer.
Green around the gills.
Oh man. All right. So Killdozer. Fuck. So they plan to blow it up, but that never actually even occurs. So, okay. Also, Dutch is convinced the bosses are trying to kill him. He's talking to like one of the other survivors, and it's like, hey, the 2 bosses are talking. 2 people are dead. We're next, man. They're gonna kill us. Like as if they didn't watch this thing like try and run over their friend with no mana inside of it. So Killdozer shows up though, while they're all standing on a hill and just makes a mess of their fucking tent, like their campsite.
Yeah.
Just really tears things up. Also, there's some explosion.
Who's worse at trashing things, Jackie Vernon or him? Or Killdozer?
Killdozer, because
Killdozer's worse?
Yeah, because, I mean, he has the means to do a lot of worse shit, and he kind of just rolls over tents.
True.
But, I mean, Jackie Vernon literally just...
like, dumped an apple on the ground.
dropped a pencil. So I guess you're right. Also, they'd use, like, one explosion in the movie, and the rest was just, like, literally running over oil tanks, so it was, like, the least impressive explosions you've ever seen. Just like a flame underneath of it.
Yeah.
It was really weird that they didn't decide to do anything. So Killdozer's just sort of making a big mess. And then Killdozer hides in the tall grass after it makes it. Oh, wait, that's why it was so funny, because they were on higher ground watching this all happen.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh my God. And then it hid in the grass below. And they were watching it. Like, also, that's so fucking funny that Killdozer showed up and was like, they're not home. Let's trash the place. Fucking nerds.
Wait, is this when he starts pushing like small pebbles?
You wait. Oh, fuck. No, but it's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up. Because they go to clean up the area. And Dutch finds his radio, which is not her, and he turns it on, and it's just music. And you know this is such an old man movie, because the guy's like, will you turn that off? He's so mad that music's playing. And then the other guy walks up to him and is like, he's really losing his marbles. Because he's playing music, like enjoying contemporary music. The guy's like, oh my God, he's come off his spool. The guys all leave, though, and Killdozer's still watching them from the tall grass. And Killdozer snorts. It's like... and this is when they reveal that the big issue with Killdozer is, he can make a road anywhere he feels like going. So we're fucked. We can't hide anywhere. You can literally make a road anywhere he goes. The movie is so slow that you almost lose track of what's happening. Because things are happening so slow. Because one of the trucks gets destroyed by Killdozer.
Yeah, it blows up.
It blows up.
But all Killdozer does is just like give it a love tap.
And then Killdozer starts doing a dance. Like it starts spinning in circles. And then that's when
Killdozer such an ass.
That's when the other guys show up. They're like underneath like a cliff. So they're still trying to do work, which is the other crazy part. Killer's like, all right, we gotta stay on schedule here. And they're like at this like quarry area. Killdozer is above them, pushing the smallest rocks I've ever seen in my life.
Sean, they are fucking pebbles. It is ridiculous because, like, up to I'm not even exaggerating. Like, when you compare it to the dozer part,
you could literally hold it in your palm. You could palm them.
It's so proportionately smaller than the bulldozer. It's just pushing it off. The guy's like, one guy's just staring there, like awestruck. He's like, no! And one of the rocks hits him, and it wouldn't do anything. Also, like, what the fuck?
They're so far away from this.
Yeah.
And you could see them tumbling down the mountain.
They're going so slow. But like I'm saying, even if you stood there and took them all to your face, you would probably just be slightly annoyed. But this guy is like crippled by it.
Oh my God, it's the funniest fucking thing. Oh my God. So then they go out in the woods after that traumatizing event. They've watched all their friends die and have had no issues, but after that they're like, we're done. We're done. Old Killdozer's got us where he wants us. And they go out and they get drunk. And they wake up in the morning. Well, Dutch gets drunk. He's like, I'm going swimming. And then they wake up in the morning. And they're like, hey, where's the car? And then they just pick up or they're like, where's Dutch? Where's the car? And one of the guys picks up a bottle and they're like, oh God, no. And then cut to Dutch driving like a fucking lunatic, almost getting thrown out of the seat legitimately.
Yeah.
Like just hitting potholes in the sand. And the funniest thing, just suddenly stops in his tracks. And it's because he's come face to face with Killdozer. Like, oh man, this is the best. Yeah. And now his car's not running. He was literally driving it with like a madman, and now it won't start. And the slowest kill scene, literally of all time, man. Dutch just doesn't get out of the fucking car, and he's like, "No!" It's literally like the joke
Austin
thing.
Powers.
Yeah, the Austin Powers thing, like 100%. And it's not a joke at all. So finally, we're down to the last two guys. Excuse me. The two bosses, Kelly and somebody else.
Dennis.
And they're like, hey, you know what? That's a big machine. You know what we should try to stop it with? One of the other big machines we have. So they put it in front of the Killdozer, and it's literally thwarting Killdozer. It's like a crane thing.
Yeah.
And they're literally just moving it in front of Killdozer. Like Killdozer can't get around it. And then Killdozer starts humming, which nothing happens. And then they knock off the exhaust and they're like, you did it. I'm like, oh, is that going to kill Killdozer? And it doesn't. Just literally just knocked off the exhaust. And then this is the most boring end to a movie I've ever seen.
Besides the one we did last week.
Well, that's true. That's very true. But this is really bad. This is boring in a different
they
way.
hook steel up like a trap to a generator so they can electrocute.
They're like, we're going to electrocute them. This is going to fry them.
And it turns out it does.
Also, those tires are rubber.
That is a great point.
The treads are rubber.
That is a great point.
But that's fine.
Grounded. It couldn't be more grounded.
Yeah, there's just 2 minutes left, and this is just taking forever. They finally plan to destroy it, like Joe was saying. And I don't understand why they're not just digging a hole, but whatever. And they put blankets over the metal, as if Killdozer would even know what fucking metal is. It's not a human brain. Freaking prehistoric rock. But Killdozer pulls up to the blankets and is like, hey, wait a minute. But won't go over it. So then Kelly tricks it.
That's so stupid.
By calling it names. And throwing something at its light and smashing it. And then Killdozer's like, you piece of shit. And then decides to roll over the thing that it was like, hey, I don't know about this. And then they electrocute it.
Yeah.
And that's it. The blades.
The blue comes around.
The blue does something.
Killdozer.
And then the guy runs after. The guy runs up to him. He's like, the hum's gone. The thing's dead. And then whatever his name is, Kelly's like, all I know is I'm sure glad to be alive. And throws his hard hat in the air. And we get a freeze frame. Or wait, no, he goes, the guy goes, all I know is I'm sure glad to be alive. And fucking Kelly goes, so am I. And then throws his hard hat in the air. Fucking freeze frame. Fucking end of Killdozer. Oh, man. And that is fucking Killdozer, dude. That's it, man. So that was fun. That was rough. And that was to honor. That was in honor.
Rest in peace, Killjoy.
Rest in peace, Killjoy. By the way, but by the time this comes out, we'll be like 8 weeks away.
Long dead.
Also,
we had a choice to watch Killjoy,
which is what I thought I was picking. So speaking of picks, we've got some movies to do.
Ooh, this is my favorite part of the night.
This is my favorite part also. All right, so what do we want to do, Killjoy?
Of course not.
In honor of Killjoy.
In honor of Killdozer. No, I think we have to, I guess.
Yeah, we might as well. In honor of Killdozer. The guy that ran over a bunch of buildings and killed himself. All right. So Killjoy it is. And then I don't know, man. We've got From Beyond, Zombie Flesh Eaters. Zombie Flesh Eaters is fucking bonkers. Rubber.
Stop it.
A lot of these are like decent movies. Did we do Basket Case too?
Yeah, we just did it.
Oh yeah. When you look at that, Candyman could be interesting.
Sure.
Do you want to do Bloody Birthday 1981? Fright Night. Society we already did. Society was like the most popular thing ever. Bats from 1999.
Ooh, a classic Lou Gossett. Wait, no, not Lou Gossett. What's the fucking jerk's name? Fuck. Edward James Olmos.
Lou Diamond
Phillips. I know that.
Fuck, I'm good. Fucking old La Bamba.
Yes.
Hatchet, Exit to Hell.
I'll do Bats.
All right, Bats it is.
All right.
All right, see you out there, Bats, by Soul Reaper Teddy, whose actually name is Blake.
Okay.
So thanks, Blake. That's the end of this episode, guys. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. Big thanks to Tormented Teamster for allowing us to use the song Those Tapes. And check him out. Go to IHateHorror.com. You can find his links on our site. Or you could just look him up, Real Genre Fix. I don't know if his website's up or not, so I don't want to plug it. But just find him. You can find him everywhere. He's pretty cool. He has a new song out. And you can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at IHateHorror. And Vero, just look up Sean Miller or something. I don't know. Figure it out.
I'm at Pugnish 1985, Horror Show Joe, and
Joseph.
yeah.
You're just under Joseph. So like 10 million.
Perfect.
All right, guys, that's it. So, for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
I dissect. Movies all fucking day.
Wanna play?
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
Dismember.
A fucking zombie getting sliced and diced. A monster.
Mutilate. And butcher. That's it, guys.